I mean, people say that we're huge. You know what I mean?
People have said that we're huge, which
People
is
say that.
I mean,
say it all the time.
and people lie all the time. I get it.
That's true.
Holy shit!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Someone wake his ass up.
Adam Fox Auto.
It is own power. 5 of 5.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
So I saw the article about the women's hockey league playoff structure.
So I want to talk to you about this because I think this would be. I was kind of talking about it with my boys, and I think it can work in other sports. And so here's for those of the article he's referring to. So the women's professional hockey league, there I think is 6 teams in that league. So it's a small league, right? But the idea is once you get eliminated from the playoffs, they have what they call draft points. So every win is just like a normal 2 points or whatever, and a loss. I actually think it's 3 points, and an overtime loss is 1 point. And so the idea would be if you are eliminated from there to the end of the season, you have to go hard in the paint and try to win as much as you can, right? And I was thinking, how cool would that be so that people don't tank in the fact that, like, let's take the NHL, for example. There's, 32 teams? And and the Blackhawks are going to get eliminated here pretty soon. So from there till the end of the season, they got to try to win as much as they can to get that number 1 spot. You know what I mean? And it's only people that don't make it to the playoffs, obviously, right? And so if, like last year, the Wings got eliminated like the last day or 2 days, so they're gonna drop to the end of that. So what's 32 minus 8 teams?
Yeah, but then don't you feel like they're getting punished for having a successful charge at the playoffs?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good thought.
I mean, they are, but they aren't, because they're going to finish there anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But then, like, they have no option. There's no chance of them moving from where they finish, which is, I mean, it is what it is. Like, if you're chasing the playoffs and you get in,
right,
or you just miss, that it's not really going to affect your
right. But it could be that some of these
be what it's going to be.
Right. You don't know if, like, the Blackhawks or, who's the Sharks or something like that they're going to take a lot longer to try to get those points, but they're not a great team, so they're not going to just automatically start winning again. You know what I mean? So let's say they win 10 games out of the 20 or 30 that they have once they get eliminated. So they've got 20 points. Where, let's say the Wings get eliminated with 15 games left, they have a chance to even becoming the number 1 draft order,
Right, because they can accumulate points, but the team that got eliminated first, their higher percentage has a bigger opportunity to collect more points because they were eliminated first.
Right. So if you're going to tank, you need to tank early. But nobody's going to tank early because you don't know what your season's gonna look like,
Yeah, I don't think there's an opportunity to tank in that scenario, because you're definitely not going to throw the first half of the season away,
right?
Thinking, well, we already know we're not going to be in this, because you don't know that, right? Like, you look at the Flames a few years ago, they were not supposed to be a playoff team, and then they had an actually decent playoff run.
Yep.
Right, they were young and inexperienced, and then they just made the best of a season, and that would have been, it would have been worse for them to finish lower and, then still miss the first overall pick. Just wouldn't have been a good.
And I don't know if even
to throw points away.
It maybe worked better in, like, basketball or baseball. Like, I feel like basketball, you can. I hate to say this, but you can tank a little bit easier or better. You know what I mean?
Exchange points.
You rest some of your guys, or like you don't, play as hard defense, or you don't, like. I mean, I know you can do that in any sport, but it's like, I think it feels like there's a lot more of it in like basketball,
Sure.
And so I think like something like that would be huge, because then once you get eliminated, it's like we gotta win, boys. Like you're coming down to it. You've got, 5 games left, and you got 3 or 4 people that are running for that top chance of getting the next big star.
So to play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
I would think, why are the players gonna care in that scenario?
Right.
To
I mean, I
help
could
the
see that.
team, because they're probably gonna get shipped off,
Right.
if the team's poor, right? If they bring in if they make a charge with the team and they collect as many points as they can, and the team gets the first overall pick, they could take a person that's going to essentially replace someone.
Right.
I probably wouldn't be overly thrilled about helping the team do that.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, let's say you just signed a 5-year deal. Like, I don't want to keep losing. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, no, I get it. But it's just something, say, well, why am I gonna? I already know we're not winning anything this year. Why am I gonna put myself on the line physically every single night when we have zero reward at the end of the year?
Right.
Because a draft pick to a player is probably going to be like, I don't care about this. This does not help me.
Right.
Not thinking big picture. You look big picture, you say, well, if we get a McDavid, right? If I'm the Oilers and I'm in the scenario where we're fighting for a first overall pick,
Right.
and McDavid's on the line, it's all prospect, right? It's all potential. So it's tough to say, yeah, like, hey, let's go, boys. Let's charge on it because we need to get this first overall pick.
Right. But yeah, I guess I was seeing it from more of a what's up, Tony? I was seeing it more from like a team development side of it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I like the idea that it just gives purpose to the end of the year rather than them throwing their time away. But at the same time, it can take away from the opportunity from some of the players that are there. It can take away from some of the players that may get called up, right? That would get a shot, because then these are their other prospects that need to be used, and then they can't get them game time because they're trying to chisel out as many points as they can to get that first pick.
Yeah.
So it could work to a detriment in a way. Now, since it's being used in the women's league, they don't have that depth to worry about.
Right. It's just the, basically the 5 and 6 team, because there's 4 teams that make the playoffs.
Right, exactly. So it's just those 2 teams are like, well, however many points you accumulate, that's going to help determine like who gets first overall pick. And I would say that the talent pool is probably a little bit more shallow for players going into professional women's hockey than it is for men's, given the amount of leagues that the men's that the men have that they have to fill with all that talent, right? So Tony, what are you up to, man? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
So, but I think it's interesting. I would love for them to explore a way to find meaning for teams that are at the bottom. I don't know if that's necessarily the best way, is to have them chase after stuff like that. It could be, something that aids them going into the next season.
Yeah.
Right.
I just love the idea of having that kind of almost that second playoff push to try to get you that player. I don't know. That was my thought.
Yeah. No, I think I just get excited about the idea of teams not tanking at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think I feel better about that than give some meaning there. If you're an old quarterback, like, are you really effective? Like in today's NFL, are you really effective as an old quarterback? With the exception of Brady.
Yeah. Hard to say that with Brady just being.
Yeah, but it's Brady.
I know. Good point.
It's like it's Brady. Like it's
Well, I mean,
You
Drew
know-
Brees did the same thing. He was old as dirt. Matt Ryan was doing well. I mean, he was on a crappy team, but
yeah, I guess.
I mean, you're
But I
not the
think-
elusive like Mahomes
We don't-
where you're running out of the pocket and I don't know. I think
Do
anybody
you think that's
with an old like look at Fernando Alonso playing, racing cars or racing Formula One, and he's like 48 or whatever he is.
Yeah, I guess.
What do you think the hardest sport is to be old, like in your 40s?
Hockey. Maybe baseball.
Yeah, baseball maybe.
Well, there's no 40-year-olds playing soccer. Forget it.
Yeah, that's true. There's a speed.
Like high level, like
Unless
Premier
you're like a
League, you're not
goalie.
getting anyone that's 40. Unless you're a goalie. Yeah.
But that's hockey's the same way, aren't they? Like you see a lot more older goalies.
Yeah, I mean, Yager played forever, but he wasn't at the elite level that he was.
Right. Or Chelios.
Right. But like you get older goalies in soccer, like Van der Sar was like 39.
Yeah.
And he was still setting records, back in the day. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Pujols just retired.
Fleury's
He was, like,
39.
40 something. Is he 39?
Yep.
Dang. I mean, basketball, you got the old heads too. I mean, LeBron's 40 something.
I feel like basketball is the easiest sport that you could play as an older person.
Yeah.
Because you can stay like in moderately good shape. If you're really good, like if you're like a LeBron or someone, right? Or like
Right.
you can stay in like moderately good shape and make a pretty good impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did get sent down. I saw that. You ever sit down and then like the chair pulls your pants down? Like in the car? Have you ever had that happen? Like you sit in the car and then you slide back in the seat,
Yeah.
and then as you slide back, it like pulls your
Yeah.
so like it gives you a little plumber.
Happens all the time.
It does. Just admit it happens. It's fine. No one's watching.
Especially because like I don't have an ass at all. Like I have zero butt.
Right.
It just goes, yeah.
Yeah. So you like slide back in the seat and then you like
Yeah,
a little
it's
crack
just
sticks
not-
out.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you have seat warmers? I have seat warmers.
That warm leather on
Yeah.
my skin.
Tell you what, you have a Kia too, right? You got
I do.
does it have the seat warmers?
Yeah, it does.
God, you ever put those on level 3?
Hell yeah, I do. It burns my skin.
Holy shit, it's like fire. Like it's so hot. It's so hot. On certain days, like I put that on to like loosen my hamstrings on my way to hockey. Like, because it's like putting a heat pack on.
Yeah.
It gets so hot. It's perfect. I love it. Christina can't put it on like past level 1. She's like, this is too hot. I'm
Yeah.
like, you haven't seen nothing. Put it on 3.
Got a suntan on the back of her leg.
Right. You're red. Like the back of my legs are like red. My ass cheeks like red. I don't even go out anymore. I'm so sick of being out. Like I'm done. I'm done. We talked about this yesterday. We were playing. I was so upset. I was so fucking upset. So let me tell you, I'm going to tell you this story. This was like,
Talk to me, Goose.
this was the second to last experience I'll have in public, because the next one that I have that's bad will make sure I will just be boarded up in my home for eternity. So we go to get groceries. Okay.
Yep.
And so we use Aldi a lot because you can get a lot of food for cheap. Like it's this is just where we're at. And who doesn't like saving money anyway?
Of course.
So we're checking out, and they're done. Like they scan it, whatever. They said, it'll be $58.40. Of course, it's like a whole boatload of food. You're like, how's this only $58? Fucking Aldi, man, it's amazing. Fucking Aldi, man, it's amazing. So I go and I put my card to the reader, because it's tap to pay now. So you tap the thing,
right?
And it beeped, and it wasn't like the it wasn't that. It wasn't like that
a baduk.
Yeah, it was not the that it makes when it read your card. It was just like a random beep.
Okay.
Right? It's just like beep. I was like, okay, well, let me try it again. That didn't work. So I'll try it again. So then I put it up to the thing. I hold it there forever. Perfect. Everybody heard that. Put my wallet away. We were good. I got the bloop.
Right.
We're done. The bloop. Yeah, we're good. I look up, and the little emo kid that's working the register.
It's gotta be an emo kid. Yeah.
With his little mask on, still wearing the COVID mask, sitting there. And I kid you not, he's just staring at me. Like this. Like
I like staring at your eyes, or like just staring down.
Just like trying to make eye contact with me. Couldn't put like the words would not come through his shitty little mask. Like he couldn't use the words to tell me anything. Right. And so I was like, what's up? Like, why are you staring at me? Like, what are we doing here? And finally the little paw comes out from the thing, and it like taps the top of the thing. Can you try it again? I was like, well, how long were you just gonna stare at me? Yeah. Were you just gonna stare at me until I said something? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing? I was so mad. I was like, why are you making me feel like an idiot about this? Like, everybody heard Baduk.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking heard it.
Yeah. The whole line heard Baduk.
Right. Everyone's just waiting for me to get the hell out of the way.
I was about to say, are you causing a line? Like, are people forming?
No, but I mean, there's people waiting. There's 2-3 people deep at Aldi. Aldi's not very big, right? It's small. Right. So like, if you're 3 people deep at Aldi,
yeah, that's a lot.
Like you're holding some shit up, right? Because there's only a couple registers. But the thing I was so mad about, I was like, why are you just staring at me? Like, why don't you just be like, oh man, look, I feel like it didn't hit again. But no, I just got with the mask, the little shitty mask on.
Excuse me, sir. It didn't Baduk.
Yes. Excuse me, sir. You just tap it. Just try again, sir.
Did it have one of the inserts? Could you not insert?
Man. Jesus.
That's so funny. I will say this. I kind of had a similar experience. Maybe not as bad, but I went to Kroger the other day, 2 days ago, and it was packed. It's always packed on a weekend, right? And so I go, and I'm like, I hate doing self-checkout. Absolutely hate doing self-checkout. This is like, I just spent all this time getting my own groceries.
Oh my god, self-checkout. It's the way of the future, man.
Okay, anyway, so
I'm self-checking.
Well, just wait. Okay. It might be better. So I'm checking out, and I got 30 things, right? So I'm checking out, and I get to these tomatoes, and like, I don't know, like, do I put them on the scale? Do I gotta weigh them? Do I gotta look it up? Whatever. So I kind of turned around, and this person was sitting there, and it said, I said, hey, I don't really know how to do this. Can you help me? So they walk over there, and name tag said Emma, and they go,
You don't even have to say anything else. You don't even have to say anything else. Oh man.
So I'm
Okay.
I'm with my youngest daughter, and I go, "Hey, can you help me?" I turn around. Emma walks up and goes, "Yeah, what do you need?" I was like, I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how to do this, to be honest." They go, "There's a, there's a barcode on the tomato," and I was like, "Yeah, but they're in the fucking bag. Like, it's not scanning. Can you help me out?" They go, "No, did you take the tomato out?" And I was like, "No, I didn't fucking take the tomato out." And so I look, and this barcode is like this big.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So I like take it out and I scan it, and then I put it in the bag, and he goes, or she goes, or whatever goes, "You'll need to weigh it." And I was like, "Oh, fuck me." So I put that.
Sorry, Emma.
Yeah, I was like, "Thanks, Emma. I appreciate it." And so I click my little thing, I pay for it, I put it in, and then they're like, "That's all you need." And I was like, "Well, wait, I got beer too, so you might as well just stick around, Emma. There's gonna be another show, you know." So I scan it and like, here, put in my number, perfect. And I was like, "You're all good." And I was like, "Thanks. Have a nice day, Emma."
So
And
let me
meanwhile, my daughter's just looking at me like, "Was that?" And I was like, just stop, just like, let's get this together and get the fuck out of here."
Oh my god. It's fucking great. What is it about Emma's, man?
I
Emma's
don't
like,
know, man. I looked at the person, long hair, and then looked at the name tag, and I was like, oh, okay. You know, you do you, boo boo. Whatever you want to be. Just tell me
What
how
it-
to scan these tomatoes.
right, just show me how to buy these tomatoes. I'm trying to give you money.
Right?
Oh my god, that's a good one. Holy shit.
So yeah. Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, don't.
Not fun.
Don't. Well, the thing is like, I mean, you may not get questions because it's just gonna be the day to day.
Yeah.
It's like trying to be the norm type of thing. Whatever.
Whatever floats your boat, you know.
Sure. I don't know. It's so straight.
I don't get
Not
it,
that.
but you know,
it's just
whatever.
like it's the way society's trending. Like just everything that we have to deal with day to day is just so bizarre. So bizarre. Fucking emo children.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this whole thing, like this is why I don't go out. Like why in your right mind would you go anywhere for New Year's ever?
Right. Yeah.
You gotta be out of your mind. You have to be a complete nut job just to go out for New Year's.
Mainly because I just want to sleep. But
Only because you're guaranteed to run into another nut job, or they're gonna run into you. Like it's insane.
oh man.
Fuck. It's
I'm with
nuts,
you.
man. Yeah, it's crazy out there. So yeah, so then on the way home, I was so angry that like I was just like, why would I leave? Why would I go anywhere? I have Amazon Prime. They do groceries.
They do now, yeah.
They do groceries. Like it's all part of Prime. Like you don't have to pay anything extra. There's no delivery extra. There's no tip. There's no nothing. It's all just part of Prime. Why would I go anywhere?
I got
And
all
this
the things I
weather
need.
that we're about to get is going to prove it.
Yeah.
We're actually going to get some snow, as it seems.
You think?
I don't know. It's still raining.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna ice over and then everybody's gonna freak out.
Walmart Plus is another one. Walmart Plus is amazing.
Yep.
I love Walmart Plus. And they'll bring you anything that's in Walmart.
Yeah, and there's a lot
Really
of stuff
anything.
at Walmart.
Yeah, you can get anything in Walmart. Anything.
And I
anything.
mean
And I
anything.
mean anything, and they will bring it to you.
Ugh. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how, and you know what? I'll be more happier for it. Because look, why do I want to use my time that, I mean, pardon for me for thinking highly of myself. My time is very valuable.
Yeah.
Okay. My time, as I've proven over the last 3 weeks, I
Right.
barely have days off. Why
Yeah.
do I want to use the day off that I actually have to
do
go
all
talk
that
to
stuff.
Emma?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to Emma and have her handle my tornadoes.
My
Fucking A. My
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
You don't want Emma
I don't-
handling any of your tomatoes.
I definitely don't want Emma touching my fruit, plums, name it, whatever. I don't nothing. So the point is, why like the time you spend going to the store, running around the store when it's crowded, then you've got to run
Yep.
into all those stupid people. People are so stupid.
They are.
People are just stupid. I'm so sick of them. Not you guys, obviously.
And I don't think it's getting any better. That's the problem.
No, it's just getting worse. It is just getting worse. But then when you do like the DoubleTree or like the Hampton Inn, if it ends in inn,
Right.
definitely a motel.
Definitely got to be a motel.
Right. Red Roof
Red
Inn,
Roof. I was about to say that was one that was
Motel.
near us.
that is not a hotel.
It's not. Yeah. That's great.
What's the worst hotel you've ever stayed at?
Okay. So back in before pre-kids days,
Sure.
I used to be in a band and we played a show in it was Sinner, Alabama. And this place was so bad that I slept in my car. Because it was like
What?
No, yeah. It was
What was
so
wrong?
bad. It was just there was roaches everywhere. There was just I felt like I was like, no, thank you. So I slept in my car.
Okay.
It's bad.
I'd probably do that too. If I saw a whole bunch of like roaches running around, I would for sure like. Did you complain?
No, because they were paying for it, and I was just like, I'm not gonna work. Like, I'm never
No,
coming
did
back
you-
here.
Complain to the hotel.
Oh yeah. I was like, look, this is terrible. I'm gonna sleep in my car. They're like, we can switch rooms. I was like, nah, I don't even want to go to another room.
Wow.
Thunderbird Inn. Now, would you stay at? All right, so like Tony mentioned Thunderbird Inn. Would you stay at a hotel or motel that's not a chain? Like, that sounds
Sure.
like a mom and pop's hotel. You know what I mean?
No, it depends.
Do you feel more comfortable with
What's the
that?
scenario? It would have to be pretty well reviewed
Yeah.
because you're still paying. Like, if you're giving someone money for a service, especially something where like they kind of hold your life in their hands.
All right.
while
So
you're asleep.
what's the price? What's the price range that's like, okay, this is a cheap hotel.
A
Like
cheap
under
hotel?
$100?
No. If I'm thinking like cheap,
Yeah.
like a cheap hotel,
Like if
it's
you
gotta
go,
be like
oh wow, I'm not even
under-
gonna look at this because this
it's
is
got to be
cheap."
like under $50.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. 80.
Yeah. 80
like-
would be tough. Yeah,
It's like the
79.
threshold.
Not 80. 79, 99. Yeah.
It's like the threshold though.
Like that's how many stars is basically how much it is. That's kind of the way I look at it. Like if I'm looking at $80 a night, that's like a 2 or 3 star hotel.
Well, not necessarily.
No, I know. I know it's not, but that's sort of how I view it, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, in your mind, you're like, this is
Right.
going to be a dump,
This is gonna be terrible.
right? Yeah. I don't know. I remember so when I was traveling in high school,
Yeah.
we used to have to drive to the Albany airport from Lake Placid.
Okay.
And the one time I had to the school would take vans of kids to go. Right. So like depending on whose flight was when. And so like my flight was early in the morning, and just so happened there were a bunch of people that had their flight the night before.
Right.
So I had to go and stay. So I had to stay at a hotel by the airport in Albany.
Those are the worst.
Overnight. And it was a Red Roof Inn.
Yes.
And so this hotel, like, it was, granted, my whole experience of being there was in the dark because I got there in the evening. It's winter. I got there in the evening and I had to leave early in the morning.
Yeah.
So I never saw it in daylight.
Yeah.
And like, it felt like it was just, like there was no lights. It didn't have any lights, like outside.
Right.
Right. It was just everything was dark. The only thing you had that was lighting it up was like the red neon, Red Roof Inn.
Right.
And that was like, it was horrible. Like the whole experience was horrible. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, I thought that was it for me in Albany.
Some Jason Voorhees is gonna barge into my door.
Right. 1997. That's me. That's how I go out in Albany at the Red Roof Inn.
New York. Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
Is that why you won't ever stay at a Red Roof? Red Roof?
I think they're shit. I don't like them. Yeah, it's horrifying. Horrifying. I didn't know what to make of it at the time. I do remember eating the Wendy's though. It was good.
There's always a good Wendy's right next to it.
The Wendy's. Yeah, it was a Wendy's. Well, it was at the airport. So I ate at the airport. Security wasn't really a thing back then.
No, you can just walk in.
Yeah. People could still wait for you at the gate and stuff.
Yeah. As you were coming off, like right at where the plane lands, or where the plane.
Yeah, like you come off the plane and there's people there that you know. Yeah.
Like
that doesn't really happen anymore.
No, you got to go all the way outside, pal.
Yeah. Now it's like in Atlanta, you got to come up those escalators, and you either get surprised or you don't. When there's people on the other side of the rail there. Yeah. There's like that rail right at the little guardrail.
The welcoming rail.
Like, oh shit, is someone going to be at the top of this escalator when I get up there?
And then
the answer is almost always no.
Yeah, no one is. No one loves you that much either. You know what I mean?
They got to They got to circle around outside where there's you can't stop.
At the same time, who picks people up at the airport anymore? They got Ubers now. Like, you know what I mean? I can't tell you the last person I've dropped off at the airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I take Christina to the airport all the time.
Really?
If she's got to fly, yeah.